Y'all, the voice is back. Hallelujah. Because ain't nobody had time for that whispering and laryngitis that we had going on last week. Can I get an amen to the voice? Amen. Because I sure couldn't do that last week. My voice is a little bit still in the basement, but y'all, we're going to take what we got and we're going to get going. And here is that video that I wanted to give you last week. How to go from an idea to a published book in 2025. So I recently spoke with a prospective client who has been wanting to write a book. In fact, they've had the idea for the book since 2020, and they just have had so many ideas going on. They just have not figured out that way to advance, move forward, write the book, and get it published. Does that sound familiar? Does it sound like you? Maybe you want to write a high value, high content book that's based on your experiences or your expertise. You want to share your story, or you want to share what it is that you know from your industry, whether it's from a job or from your business, based on the products and services that you offer. And you want to leverage that book to help you grow your brand, grow awareness, get more clients, get more opportunities for your business and brand. But you're kind of stuck at that place where I've got ideas, but I don't know where to start. I've got ideas, but I don't know which one to pick. You know what I like to say around here? I got you. This video is for you because in it, I'm going to share with you 4 practical tips, and some of them are what I shared with this prospective client. These tips are designed to move you from the idea phase into the finished first draft phase as quickly as possible in this year 2025. Let's do this.
Welcome to Writing with Denise Renee. You are in the right place to learn how to write a book that connects you to your ideal audience, your future clients, collaborators, and other brand building opportunities. If this is your vibe, then you've got to subscribe. Now, let's get right into this video's topic.
So if you feel like you have a whole bunch of scattered ideas, you are not alone. And if you feel like you've been holding on to a book for quite some time, you know what? It's okay. And honestly, I can relate. Actually, I wrote an entire book in 2019, finished it in 2020, and then proceeded to not publish the book. I mean, I've had the cover art since then, and I never published the book. So if you're curious about why and how it is that I wrote an entire book and didn't publish it, plus you want to see my progress as I finish up the edits to that book, record the audio book, and prepare to publish, then head on over to www.writingwithDeniseRenee.com/book pre-launch and enter your name and email address. I'm going to be recording and releasing content very, very soon that tells the story and shows the journey. And if you want to be among the first to know about when it's available for pre-order, drop your name on that email list. The first video and email is scheduled to go out at the end of January, so in a couple of weeks. So you won't have to wait long. So if you want to be notified, head over to this link at the bottom of the screen or in the description box, and I will hook you up. But I share that to really say that I understand. I'm not one of these grammar gremlins or punctuation police who's just pointing their finger at you and saying, why haven't you written that book? Absolutely not. If you watch any of the testimonials from some of my past clients, one thing that a lot of them say is that I'm really encouraging. And I'm glad that they say it because I really am intentional about being encouraging. It doesn't matter where you are or where you've come from. I'm just concerned about meeting you where you are and helping you get to your goal. And I get it. Writing is a lot. Writing a book is a lot. Publishing a book, it's a lot. So it's okay if you feel a little bit overwhelmed or like, my gosh, where do I get started? I'm here to help you. I got you. Okay? So when it comes to writing a book, I find that most people, their first major obstacle is the writing process. And I find that their challenges usually fall into one of these three buckets. Number one, they feel like their writing skills are lacking, or they just don't feel like they're an author. They don't feel like they know enough to be an author or have anything worthy to share in a book, even though they would love to write a book and they would love to be a published author. Number two, some people are just doubting, like I said, whether or not their ideas are good enough or if they have enough to fill up a book. Or number three, kind of like my prospective client, they're drowning in ideas and they just don't know which one to pick so that they can move forward. So these following 4 steps are designed to address all of those 3 concerns and more. So even if you don't feel like you checked off one of those 3 major problems, I think you're going to find something in these tips that's going to help give you that encouragement and momentum and boost to move forward. So here's tip number 1 to help you go from idea to published book in 2025. I want you to get into the mindset of being an author. Okay? You're going to have to visualize with me, get a little spiritual with me, and it's okay. Don't worry, I'm not proselytizing you. You're good. But honestly, if we don't see something for ourselves, if we're like, authors are those people over there, but an author is not me, I am not an author, it's going to be very hard for you to take steps that authors take. Okay? So you've got to get your mind right and get into the mindset of being an author. Get into the mindset of being a writer. Stop telling yourself, I'm not a good writer. I don't have good ideas. Being a writer is hard. Writing a book is hard. Stop saying those things, because the more you say it to yourself, even if you don't speak it out your mouth, but you're thinking it, then you're going to do everything in your power to make that a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay? So stop it. I got a little assignment for you. I want you to go to canva.com. You could sign up for free if you don't already have an account. And I want you to select, they have lots of book mock-ups. I want you to go in there and create a design for a book. I don't care what you title the book. Make sure your name as the author is on the bottom or the top in big, bold letters, okay? But I want you, whatever ideas you have for a book, just put them out there. It's not about being perfect. It's just about seeing your name on a book, okay? Your name as the author on that book. Print that thing out if you have a color printer. Download it, put it as the wallpaper on your phone, on your computer, desktop, whatever you do, whatever electronic devices, and save it and see it. Look at it every day and let it help you get into the mindset of I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm writing my book. Okay, not I'm going to, I am. This is what I am doing right now. This is who I am being right now. Okay, so do that for yourself and help yourself. I also want to encourage you to watch this video, How to Become an Author Without Being a Writer, because in it I give even more practical tips on this point of really getting your mindset together for writing your book. The video will be linked in the cards and linked in the description below. So if this first tip has you feeling encouraged already, then do your girl a favor, drop the word encouraged in the comments. And while you're there, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so that YouTube can recommend more of my encouraging videos to you, right? That's gonna help you on your book writing journey. All right, so let's get into tip number 2. So you need to decide who is your audience. All right. With every coaching client that I work with, it's one of the very first questions that we address. Who is your book for? Who is your book meant to help? Who is your ideal reader? Who is your audience? You got to know at least you got to know something. It cannot be everyone. Okay. Everyone is not your target audience for your book, just like everyone is not the target audience for your business. All right. The audience for your book are the people who are going to best benefit from the information you're going to share. If you're sharing your personal story about overcoming abuse, then people who have been in abusive situations are your target demographic and your target audience. If you're helping people build a business where you make handcrafted items and you sell them on your own website, as opposed to selling them on a marketplace like Macari, or what's the other one that people have been complaining about lately? Oh goodness, what is it? Child. Your girl turned 51 about 2 weeks ago, and every now and then she likes to show out. So sometimes the memory just goes blank. So it is what it is, child. But eBay, not eBay, Etsy, that's it. Child. So yeah, Etsy. A lot of people have issues with Etsy. So maybe you are a coach who helps people sell their, build an audience for themselves and sell on their own website and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be looking for people who are small business owners. You're probably going to be looking for a lot of women. Mostly women have these types of businesses. So when you know who your audience is, then you can think, well, who are women who like to craft? Who are women who would want to, who have this kind of business or want to start this kind of business? Where do they hang out online? Where do they hang out offline? Who are the companies that service them? I'm thinking Joann's, Michael's, all of those crafting stores. All right. So maybe you can figure out getting into a partnership with one of these companies or something like that. So when you start thinking this way and knowing who your audience is, it starts to give you the language that you should be writing in your book. It starts to give you the problems uh, that they are dealing with and that you know that you can overcome. It really helps to shape your content, and it helps you shape your marketing plan. I mean, I just, gave you a whole bunch of ideas. And even if that's not your specific niche or industry, take that idea of thinking about who is your target audience, who are you looking to help, where do they hang out online and off, and you're going to start to get answers to those questions, and you're going to be able to begin to figure out what type of topics you should be addressing in your book. And if you're one of the people who have so many ideas, well, then that might help you begin to narrow down and say, well, what's something that's really trendy right now, or that's been trending over the last year or two, that if I put out a book within the next couple of months, this could really address this for them. That's the first book. And all the other ideas can get their own books too. And I always recommend, don't plan on being a one book wonder, okay? Write multiple books in your topic so that you build up an audience and you build up credibility with your audience. The more books you write, the better it's going to get. You just got to get over the hump of getting the first one done. And maybe this step might require you to do some research. That's not a bad thing. The more informed you are, the more likely you are to create a book that people want to buy. All right, so tip number 3 is to start a writing habit. It's one thing to think about what it is that you want to do all day long, but until you actually sit down and do it, it ain't gonna get done. All right. So you can want to write a book, you can want to be an author, but if you're not doing what writers do and what authors do, which is write on a consistent and regular basis, your book's not going to get done. Now, do you have to wait around until you have 8 hours a day to sit down and write? That's not going to happen for most of us. We are adults. We're out here trying to adult and do all of the grown up things. You have so many different responsibilities in your life, your job, your business, your family, your kids, your friends, your community. Nobody's got 8 hours like that. All right. So the best thing for you to do is to break that down into bite-sized pieces. Set a specific time for writing. My recommendation is always 15 minutes a day. And you might think that, oh, 15 minutes, that's nothing. But you know what? Everybody can make 15 minutes in their day, right? It's not overwhelming. It's something you can do. You can get in and get out. If you could do more on a particular day, great. If you can't do more and you can only do 15 minutes, well, it's better for you to write for 30 days in a row than to try to write for an hour, once or twice a week. That's just not consistent. And if you want help starting a writing habit, right now in the month of January 2025, I have a 31-day book writing challenge going on. It's 100% free to participate. All you have to do is, if you're following me on LinkedIn or you're subscribed here on YouTube, go ahead and check out my community tab on YouTube or my daily post on LinkedIn. There's a post every single day. And in that post, it has a writing prompt. And it's always going to be a series of 4 images. The first one is going to tell you what day we're on. The second one is going to give you the writing prompt. The third image is going to share just a couple of guidelines on how to use this prompt and to let it guide your 15 minutes or more of writing. And the fourth one is just going to be like, hey, come on back for the next day. So use that. If you don't know what to write about, use that to help you get started and just start the habit of writing, of communicating in the form of writing, because communicating in writing is very different from communicating through the spoken word. Different medium, different rules. Now you have to actually show your grammar rules. So in order to be successful at establishing a writing habit, you have to pick a specific time and a specific place of when and where, for how long you're going to write. If you don't want to use my writing prompts because you already have a clear idea of what you want to write about, that's fine. So use those 15 minutes or more to write about your book topic. Sometimes you might want to use some of that time to do some research. That's okay too. Ultimately, you want to organize your thoughts into an outline and make sure that you have a writing process. If you don't know what a writing process is, or if you don't have one, check out this video on my 3-step writing process. It's very easy to follow, and it's going to help you if you've never written on a regular basis before. And my last tip here is to identify your gaps of knowledge and get help for them. So there's always going to be something that we don't know. So like I said, a lot of people feel held back because they're like, I'm not a writer. I haven't done this since 7th grade. My English teacher was mean to me. I'm sorry if that was me. But I mean, I was an English teacher many moons ago. So, I was a kid. I was straight out of college. Like, sorry. But if you had traumatizing experiences in school with writing, it can make you feel kind of hesitant to move forward with it as an adult, especially if your job or your business does not require you to write all the time. So if it is a writing thing, then get help for that. There are book writing coaches that are available who are willing and ready to help you out. Some people might want to go the ghostwriting route. I'm not going to say that I don't ghostwrite anymore, but for the most part, I don't. So I would rather help you do your own writing, really explore your own voice, and feel really confident that this is your book. And so if you gathered your ideas, you started a writing process, and you just need some extra help with, well, okay, what do I do next? Then I want to encourage you to download my free resource, 4 Steps to Start Writing Your Book. You're going to see 1 or 2 of these tips, especially the understanding your audience piece, repeated and delved into a little bit more. And it's going to give you a very practical 4-step system to follow to actually get you moving and creating your outline for your book, so that you can then take that outline and every day you're writing for at least 15 minutes based on the outline that you've created. So go ahead and download that at www.writingwithdeniserenee.com/4steps. You'll also find the link down in the description below. So if you found this video encouraging and helpful, and you feel like, you know what, Denise Renee, you are absolutely right. I'm going to get my mind right, and we're going to get this book done. Then do me that favor and drop that word encouraged in the comments to let YouTube know you love this video and you're feeling your girl. Be sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and check out one of these videos next, because it's going to help give you some more practical tips and encourage you on your book writing journey. I'll see you in that video as soon as you click on it right now. Go ahead, clickety click. I'll see you there.